A lot of craftsmanship is about control. This is about creating an environment for success. And I think that that's a different aspect of craftsmanship, because you have to be pretty confident and not have a soft ego to be like, oh, you suck my battleship, my favorite line.
Own up to it, right? Just the thing that happens and be like, yeah, I did that.
Oh my God, if they knew the jokes that we said before you start rolling. I'm Michael Joy. Welcome to another episode of Hand-ufacturing. This is under the Pro Mold Maker Reacts, Mold Maker Reacts, Art Guy Reacts, just somebody reacts. So I found this video the other day and I like it a lot because one, it's artists in studio. Two, it looks like a husband and wife team here. So there's always we'll see if they're filmed together or separate. That's very telling. And three, they are really doing something remarkable with concrete. Concrete is remarkable on its own, but in a fine art perspective, it's not used very much. So let's see what's going on.
Matt and Shauna are industrial designers who can make concrete do things you probably didn't think concrete could do.
That's for sure.
This is a mother prototype. This is our most important prototype. This is what all of our molds are made from.
So right off the top, you know me. If you want to watch the video without my jibber jab, watch the video first, because I'm approaching it as a mold maker, as a shop owner, and things like that. And we just came from the shop today loading up another trailer. But that's why we've actually been away from a while. We had some real estate things to take care of. So we're back.
Yeah.
But what I like about this is already off the bat, they're talking about organization, additions, and proper, well, I don't know what it's called when you don't want to lose resolution in something, you mark the masters and the different generations. And so they have a nice little system here. Me likey.
This was my final...
What?
Did you see the marks, by the way? Pause. Kitty.
They got a kitty in there?
There's a kitty. There's
Awesome.
a 23 on it, I think.
Oh, really? I thought it was 27.
And there's a Gemini sign. I'm a Gemini by... Go back one more. Go back one more and play it. Kitty, 23, and Gemini sign.
We haven't had 23s in a while.
Dude.
If you guys don't watch the other channels, you wouldn't know what the 23 stands for us, but it's a very special number. And you're good to catch it. Usually, I'm on the hunt.
How did you not notice that?
Maybe
surprised.
I did, but I didn't. Okay, so...
The kitty there, though.
But we chose this video out of all the videos that this channel has.
And a Gemini sign.
It's a great channel. Okay, here we go.
I'm Gemini.
All right, Gemini. I got you. Birthday boy.
This is a mother prototype. This is our most important prototype. This is what all of our molds are made from. This was my final kind of prototype. The next one after this is concrete. So this is just about the finished piece.
A boot, Canada,
And
a boot.
Fun sound.
It sounds like ceramics, but plaster.
Concrete. It's in buildings and roads, bridges and sidewalks, the Colosseum, the Hoover Dam, the Panama Canal, the CN Tower. The only substance humanity uses more of than concrete is
Kitty litter. Oh.
But is there any concrete in the room you're in right now?
Yes, the entire building.
If not, it's likely because concrete, for all of its utility, is typically gray and rough and jagged and industrial. But in the hands of designers Matt and Shauna Hyde, concrete becomes a material not just for infrastructure, but for the home. So what do they do to this utilitarian material, typically used for buildings and infrastructure, to turn it into something beautiful and vibrant? It all starts with color.
What's really beautiful about this is concrete usually is kind of a by the yard type of situation here. And now they're changing the price point big time into a work of fine art. Imagine, but they handle it in such a different way. I love the colors.
Let's get into it. This is CBC on Design.
Great channel.
There's something
And a
interesting
kitty.
about changing, I guess, the context of the object, changing what people's expectations of it are, and making something that is this
kind of a rough and
Good
tumble
lighting, huh?
material into
CBC. A, B, C, third letter. B is second letter. C is third letter.
I don't get it.
3, 2, 3.
Man, you are nailing it today.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to make a 23 video for you here. All right, so first off, in the old days, we used to have studio diagnosis, right? In our forensic studio. And I would say right off the top, this guy's a craftsperson. Now, I'm being a little judgy here, but even though there's a camera crew there, he kind of looks like a guy who's got his leveled up shit together every day, whether he's working in something messy or not. And the reason I propose that is he's super organized in the background. And there's a lot of organization that can be done for the camera, but you can't operate a business too well without having track of all these additions and things like this. So out of the gate, loving it.
this very refined thing. There's that element of surprise when people are like, what's this made out of? And you're like, it's concrete. And they're like, no, it can't be. And they're like, you're painting it though. And it's like, no, we're not painting it. It's all concrete.
I think in general, people think of concrete as this very rugged industrial thing that is just like a necessity. Like it's utilitarian, you walk on it, you build with it. It's not usually handheld, so usually it's something you're looking at, but not necessarily holding it in your hand or even touching it really.
We are very hands-on. We know how to use computers, but it's not our favorite thing to do. Having an idea that's in your head is just an image, and taking a lump of clay and squishing it into that image. I find
This is a really good point. I mean, it's a nice thing to watch, right? This is so beautifully.
Very well made.
Very well
made
made.
video.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like, it reminds me of art school when people don't know what they want to make and they just start putting clay down and go whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But because he's got a process backing him up, this is what I think about that. That sometimes a shape that maybe might not speak to a lot of people, if it goes through a particular process, which theirs does, and ends up in this beautiful expression because they're a master of the medium, the shape is super important to him, but it might not be as important to me. Like, would I really fuss over something, this little turn here, this little curve there? No, I would be looking at the color output of it, and I would probably just like it whether he spent 2 hours shaping that or 4 hours shaping that. I don't know, but the tactile quality of it is what we like to talk about in hand-ufacturing, right? It's not a disconnection from technology, it's a complement to technology. But in this instance, the technology is the cement. They're master understanders of where they're headed. So, and it's not like he's making a portrait. I mean, he doesn't have to.
Just an abstract thing. And it just works?
Right. He doesn't, even if he could sculpt whatever, maybe he can, I don't know. He doesn't have to. This is his
expression.
This is his lane.
and that to be an incredibly rewarding process. In a world that's getting increasingly more digitized and more like computer.
Look at this. This is a great idea for tables. Whoever did this, these little glue lamb things, I don't know what those I-beams are called, but that's terrific. It's a quick way to get height. Very affordable. The only thing is you don't have shelving underneath in this regard, but look at the size of their studio. I don't think they need it. I would not care for fluorescent lighting, but I love their table ideas. That's well thought out.
And algorithm driven, it's important to step back and be like, what can you do by hand? How things feel, what their weight is, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. That's hard to translate from a computer screen.
He's right.
It's easy to translate when you've got a lump of clay in your hands. Being able to translate that all the way into concrete, where it's no longer clay, but it is this like, it's rock. Like you've made rock. It's exciting. I still find it really fascinating and fun, and I don't think I'll ever change.
Well, it's too bad he'll never change, but maybe he just has so much to express. I've been through different cycles in art making, and I feel like what he was saying is he doesn't need to move off his center to explore where he wants to go. He's found his happy place.
Right.
And
I think there's still some evolution to be, expected with what he makes exactly, but I think he found his lane.
The tricky part is, and although I love to see artists who can make a living at selling their art, I always wanted to be one of those guys. I had to make other people's art. I just couldn't get myself to blah, 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 violin. But what I like about this is that clearly their shop means there's a revenue stream. The thing about that revenue stream in big shops is it becomes heavy. And then all of a sudden, either he has to hire out which he's designed for, by the way, or he gets stuck in something that sells, and he's got to fulfill contract work. But we're going to see if this is a type of work that he could train somebody on to make, but maybe they have some secrets they don't want to share. That means they're, big enough is big enough. They have to decide.
So Matt and Shauna start by experimenting in flexible clay. Once a design feels good in their hands, they cast a hard plaster version of the design. From there, they continue to iterate, touching every surface until it's ready.
So these surfaces, there's a lot of ways to put a nice surface on something. And plaster, depending on the kind that you use, can polish up or not. Like you can polish certain hydrocals. For me, I always used to use Forton MG, which got a real nice gloss finish. Now, maybe they want the porosity, but some other people don't want the porosity. And that polish, if you start with the polished model, the silicone mold will catch that and transfer that into the finished casting. But let's see where they're going.
Ready to be made into a
They're very sensual,
for the concrete.
Oh, look at that.
But form is only
Jello,
one aspect
baby.
of their design.
Well, I am color obsessed. Someone will say, like, what's your favorite color? I'm like, how do you even answer that question? Like, look at this color, and then look at this color. And then when they come together in a surprising way, that's very exciting to me.
So, I think that's...
A lot of people have an emotional reaction.
She's saying some interesting things, but remember, watch the video. I'm tuning into their processes here. They've taken the time to create a color palette that they can see. They don't use these little color decks from Sherwin-Williams, for the things. They've made their own actual tiles to bring together what's the palette going to be in this next piece that they make, because that piece is probably not just one. It represents an addition or something that's going to go into a catalog. So I like how they're working out. A lot of times you see production worked out, but not design process worked out. And it seems like they have a real system for both design and production. And that's a real mastery of both things.
To things that are colorful, but for some reason, when it comes to using your money to...
Did you see that? The guy put 4 together. The wife says,
Nuh-uh.
and he did push back. This marriage is gonna work.
buy something and you have a choice between colorful and gray, people will choose a neutral or a gray. And that's cool, that I do that too. But for me, it's like, I don't know. How can you not choose the color?
She's sweet.
I think incorporating swampy, earthy, gothic colors along with poppy, vibrant, cartoonish colors, there is an element that's a little bit unsettling, where it's oh, you see those poppy cartoon colors and you're like, this is fun, but then you see those earthy, more grounded colors and you're like, oh, there's definitely more to it than just, pop.
And lots of times we're out and about and we see something and I'm like, take photo, lock in that palette. I want to play with that and see how it translates. That happens a lot. Like the series that we did for Simon's, this was inspired by our trip to the Gaspésie, so we call it Denim in the Sea, and it's Quebec colors.
Denim in the Sea. Good names matter.
Once the mold is ready and the colors are chosen, Matt and Shauna measure the pigment and concrete mixes.
Got the good PPE going on there with the gloves.
Add water and hand mix a separate batch of concrete.
Do you see how similar this is to cooking?
A lot, yeah.
A lot of my chef friends, when they'd spend time with me in the studio mold making, they'd be like, you're cooking. And I'm like, I can't make
Let him cook.
Let him
I
cook.
said let him cook.
For each color. Once they're mixed, they layer in the different colors.
Looks like that Cold Stone ice cream.
That's our beginnings.
I was thinking about the candy when they roll them out and they stretch them out.
You're actually talking about something really interesting to me, because one of the pastry chefs that really helped introduce me into the pastry community on a global scale was a chef who I met at a glass blowing studio. You've heard me talk about this. Whereas he was in the kitchen, he could blow and shape sugar in many different ways, but he was learning glass blowing because he wanted to pick up other techniques. And so this is an instance where it looks like the cement people looked into pastry versus the other way, pulling and handling this cement like food. But I like that they're handling cement like it's precious.
Yeah.
And really, the preciousness of cement is, to most people, is get it done, get it poured,
Yeah.
and don't
Level
F
it out, let it dry.
Don't F it out.
Don't step in there.
Hope that dam doesn't burst. But they're treating it like, I've never seen anybody handle cement like this.
They add the mixture into the mold.
I'm just gonna go for it.
It's like little fancy poopies.
Nope.
Yeah.
This is on what we're gonna get.
Unicorn.
Okay, too.
And force out any air pockets by hand.
What did they add in there that's...
I brought powered vibration.
it's like a filler. It's like plastic or some sort of
That was chopped glass?
chopped glass.
Yeah, the chopped glass makes the cement stronger.
Oh, okay.
In some instances, chopped glass can migrate to the surface and kind of show up, but it doesn't look like they have that issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could be the issue.
But it brings some durability to the casting, makes
I
it
see.
less shattery and less brittle. Because cement is meant to be poured in kind of big blocky chunkages. They're going pretty thin cross sections in some places.
Yeah,
Remember, they
so
got
they need-
cement hanging on the wall. And
Yeah.
most people can't hang cement on their wall by themselves with those Home Depot hooks, right? You got to
Yeah.
get into an anchored position. They do need to pay attention to what their products weigh when they're going vertical.
We needed it, but if it's fluid enough to vibrate air out just with my hands, it'll keep our marbling from blurring. Like
That's really important.
blend.
So most of the time in pouring concrete, the agitation is really just to shake out the air.
Yeah.
Did you catch what he said? He goes, I don't want to overshake this because then all that beautiful
Yeah, he doesn't
color-
want to mix the colors
Yeah,
to one
yeah.
goo.
So
He
this
wants
is
the design there.
this is a lot of cement hours this guy has.
Oh yeah.
Well, I really hope this turns out so that
Yeah.
tomorrow is exciting and we demold it and we're like, oh wow, that was really.
So they have silicone. It's silicone, right?
I guess you guys are the best. But if that doesn't happen, whew. That's kind of it till tomorrow.
Keeps things from warping, I guess. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, maybe just keeping it even.
How does concrete go from a powder to a colorful rock?
Do you want me to
Just
the
like
science to play through?
A general person,
it's okay.
if you ask them how concrete solidifies, they would tell you that the water dries out of it, that it's drying. That would be the most common thing that you hear is like, oh, is it
That's what
dry
I
yet?
was
And it's
thinking.
done.
Just let it dry. I think there's more
Concrete's
to
not
it.
Drying. It's undergoing a chemical process where it's actually curing, but it's a lot like ceramic, but flipped the other way around, where ceramic is fired at the end of the process. Concrete, the raw inputs are fired before you ever use them, and hydration, the act of adding water to it.
The cement is like plaster. It's so starved for any water because the heat has torn it apart, what it was, and then it was granulated. And it's like, I'm in this dry pile and I just want to be one again, you know? Water! Stella!
You're making this new material.
But beyond the creation of a new material, Matt and Shauna
When I look at this, there are really not a lot of interesting shapes here. These are probably, in my mind...
Skateboard's pretty cool.
Well, okay, for some people, to me, I should just say, it's not this criticism thing here. It's just, there's a process of where they get to something they really like, right? They try a lot of different things. These could just be color samples. Maybe it's a soap dish. Maybe it's a whatever. Who knows? And maybe somebody asked for the skateboard, right? Some famous guy.
Yeah, it might be the job tryouts. Like they try out different things for different certain jobs that they're just showing it here. Because we have a bunch
this-
of like, things.
This in the middle looks like it holds a wine bottle or something because I see some coasters here or ice
Yeah,
water or
yeah.
something.
Or
Well,
just
what I just said doesn't go
a
together,
vase
but
for like flowers or something.
yeah. But to me, this part is not interesting. It's their later part that really is.
a step further.
But wait, there's more.
New material that looks unlike any other material.
Yeah,
They
it's
call
super.
Oh,
this
that looks
pattern
really nice.
oracle.
That's really
It
cool.
relies on the interplay of the base elements to achieve a magical outcome. And a process that they keep top secret.
Oh, top secret. How do they do it?
How did they do what exactly?
How do they get the marbling?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's top secret. We'll never know.
I should not say, right? That's probably disrespectful.
I mean, I'm sure you would know. I think I could.
I don't. Well, of course I don't. It's not like I can watch and then just go, oh, I understand they're 20 years right away. But there's breadcrumbs there.
Yeah.
So the
pointers.
I'll share the breadcrumbs because it's still either completely off or miles away from what they've refined. But here's what I learned through doing a lot of casting and what you call a happy accident. Not a happy ending, a happy accident. So did you notice his mold did not have a mother mold?
Yeah.
So and he didn't work on a workboard, he worked on the table.
Yeah.
And you know, when you move a mold from a table to a shelf, or he just left it there, I guess, in his instance. But usually things get moved off the table. When you move something off the table, the mold moves. And if you move it at a time where something has begun to set just a little bit, you get these micro cracks, these fissures. And those fissures can look like webbing, and they let moisture come through the fissures. Now, I don't think that's what's happening there, but that was really neat how I got an aged effect when I would crack the shell deliberately on certain things. To me, it looks more like there's a hydroscopic resist put into the mold, or something that's maybe splattered in the mold, and then it prevents something from getting there. I don't know, a wax resist or something. I don't know. I haven't figured it out, but those are the only two ways that I can think of. But this is the beauty when an artist figures out a secret. We were talking about something, and I said, well, there's a great value in knowing that. And one of the comment people was saying, well, I like your videos, but I don't really like withholding the information. And I'm like, well, business slap, of course you don't, because I spent, like them, 20 years figuring out the value of something, and I wasn't bringing it up to be a teaser. I was saying, hey, figure this out and you win. But I don't think everybody should share all of the secrets right up front.
Oh, of course not.
But
not
YouTube,
for free.
YouTube builds this expectation, because everything is free for the viewer, that, no, you should teach me everything you know for nothing. And I say, well, if you're a teacher and that's your position, then yes, but these guys are business owners and they've differentiated themselves from the crowd, so I can respect their privacy. And my comments about it aren't really big deal. However, there is a spray bottle right there. Psst, psst.
Interesting.
Or there's this bottle here of colorant, and you can web it.
Kind of like do little
glazy. So hard to say.
Let's see, maybe they show something.
I don't know, but I like that they're a couple working together. That can be a blessing and a curse.
The day I discovered
They
the
look
oracle
happy,
pattern, well, the night I discovered the oracle pattern, I demolded these objects, and like most of them were garbage. And even the one that had showed some of the pattern, I'm like,
I'll bet you they have a big dumpster bill.
Oh
there
man.
was this little kind of sparkle of hope in it.
Oh yeah.
What's all this?
There's got to be a way to recycle it, right?
And
I don't think so.
It sounds corny, but I went to bed and I had a dream about it. And in the dream, there
That
was
webbing,
like
we used to call it webbing.
this sense of being like, you gotta focus on this thing. You gotta dig in. Just go back, dig in on it. And that was the beginning of the oracle pattern.
So the oracle pattern, which is their cash cow of something, this is pretty interesting that he was in tune enough to listen to his subconscious intuition. You know, he said, he just kind of went by, he's like, oh, in a dream. That's a cheesy thing but I'm a dream talker. Like, I'm talking about that all the time. And I like that he was in tune enough of developing a process to listen to that and kind of go through it. His wife didn't say she dreamt about it. Who knows who was encouraging who, but dreams matter.
You can influence, but you can't control it. You bring what you want to do, and then you have to let go and see what happens. Because there's steps in the process that you have control, and then steps that you have absolutely none.
You know, a few seconds ago, they showed a couple shapes that I kind of go, meh, to the shapes, but they're not interesting to me. The thing is I would make things in my shop that I made myself, right? I'm responsible for my own meh, but someone else would come in and they'd be like, I love that.
Right. Oh, same thing with me.
And I would always, then I would try to talk them out of liking it. I'd be like, oh, that's just
very self-criticizing.
Yeah, instead of going, oh yeah, I'm glad you like it. I knew it would find the right eyes.
Yeah.
Instead, I'm undoing it like, oh no, there's better over here. Let me show you. What the fuck?
Look, it's got a little crack there. Look, it's bad. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But people don't see the flaws that you notice.
That is true, and they look like they have. This is a cute shot. You know, great joy in making this stuff.
We can see about 10% of what's actually going on until everything is demolded, and then we're like, oh, okay, here's how it looks.
It's scary as hell. Every time you're like, I hope this turns out.
That's the same with glazing ceramics.
Actually.
I hope it works.
It's probably going to turn out, but like if you didn't put enough water, or you put too much water, or we did this too much and didn't do that enough, well, it's too late, and so we'll get it next time.
I think to me that's the most interesting thing about the Oracle pattern is how unpredictable it is, because it means that...
Do you see the importance of giving something a name? Because now he doesn't have to explain that crackly pattern that sits on the front. He's like, Oracle, move on.
Easy, nice.
Yeah, that's good branding.
Every piece that we make is a little bit different. It's impossible to make two that are the same.
Strong man.
Well, there's ways around that, but he's got it. Zumba.
I mean, it's concrete. It's not gonna just break. Can, but...
I was gonna say it didn't look finished.
Yeah, there we fine.
Oh, so it looks like it takes a mirror.
Yeah. That's the mirror he was showing in the beginning.
I missed the mirror aspect. Okay, so now I know why he put the weight on there. Because if that center section is not flat, the mirror won't set into it. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Bingo.
That makes sense. Has to be
Celebrities that we know have bought our work, Mandy Moore, Katy Perry, Demi Lovato, Frank Ocean. We've done a lot of work with Seth Rogen's houseplant.
Houseplant.
Of the Oracle pattern to getting it on the shelves and walls of some pretty recognizable
That looks
names.
great.
Yeah.
What drives Shauna
Look at that table.
to continue creating with
They got it shimmed up to be level.
They have to have more like
their tactile
people in that
approach.
shop. It's not just them.
No, did you catch this as industrial designers? So there's a background before this. I'll bet you that they had a lot of these other projects and then they kind of migrated into this and then had a little nourishing evolution of to get to this point. This is the hard thing for a young artist to look at in this regard, that studio, it's really easy to have studio envy and not know the millions of decisions they made that allowed for that studio to be there. I used to be so jealous of lofts and things like that, and it's different now.
Is anything but digital. Do they ever get tempted to let computers into that process?
I love technology. I love video games. I love computers. I love all that stuff, but it feels like people's humanity is stripping away with these levels of digitization that are coming into play. And I love that handmade objects, physical objects, are a robust experience. That to us is like really inspiring and important.
It's true. If you go to a kid's class and you see them working with clay, kids are like so happy because they're in control of what shapes something. It's like the first time you drove. Did you have go-karts or anything when you were a kid before you could drive a car?
I drove go-karts, yeah.
Wasn't it empowering?
Yeah, it was fun.
Like I hit that pedal and there's a reaction to me as a kid and I have no control anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounded dramatic, but in this instance.
No, I get that.
He's right. I don't know about stripping humanity. That's dramatic, but I do jive with him on saying that working with your hands for certain types of people is very nourishing. It's very calming. It's meditative. It's
people make those pots, just sit there with ceramic stuff.
I have a brother who's heavy ADHD, heavy, like it's not easy for him. And when he was younger, I took him to a glass blowing studio. And the glass blowing studio, out of all the shops I took him around, it was kind of like a little brother tour. And he liked glass blowing the most. And I was like, why? It's pretty involved. And he said, I had to focus on every second.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't take my mind off of it. And I think this is probably why video games are so ADHD satisfying, is you're like zinged
so
down.
in there. Yeah. You can't really focus on anything else. That is true. That makes sense.
As a maker and a designer, you're always trying to make the best thing. especially in concrete, because you're like, there's no redos. Like once it's made, that's it. There's no fixing it. You can't undo. Like coming from computer medium to real life medium, always I'm like, oh,
I like their baseball bats up there.
no undo, no undo. That's a
She's the playful one of the bunch.
Technology.
I think they're both.
I think our work shines its brightest when it's in someone's hands. When you pick it up and you hold it and you feel the
Gotta be
weight
strong.
touch the edges and you slide your hand around it, that is meant to be satisfying. And so I make that choice. When I feel it, I decide, I'm like, does this feel satisfying? Does this, does this gratify some need I have to feel something in my hands? And hopefully the answer is yes, in which case it can go out into the world.
This is really interesting about this stuff is a little while ago, he was talking about just kind of letting it happen. She was saying it in the sense of you can't change it. What happens, happens. And I think it's in many instances, once it gets through their basic filter of, yeah, this is good enough to represent us, someone else may really love it, even though yellow's not my favorite color, so to speak. But I like that they're in a process that they're loose enough to go along with it. There's a lot of art processes that don't allow that. Jewelry making.
Yeah,
Lithography.
Oh, whatever happens, happens. No,
etching. Nay.
You have to make it right.
A lot of craftsmanship is about control. This is about creating an environment for success. And I think that that's a different aspect of craftsmanship, because you have to be pretty confident and not have a soft ego to be like, oh, you suck my battleship. My favorite line.
Own up to it, right? Just do the thing that happens and be like, yeah, I did that.
But if you have high output, so if I was if I was making art again these days, when? Okay. Let's just say, this is an if story. If I was only making art on Sundays, that's a lot of pressure for a Sunday output.
Yeah.
But they're going to be making it today, tomorrow, the next day. So they have a big span of averages. They can make 1,000 pieces in a year or whatever, and then, so what if 10 didn't turn out? But 10 Sundays out of 50 Sundays is a big percentage of failure. And so this type of work, in my mind, creates a momentum of experimentation. And I think that that's really valuable in the studio, rather than, for me and my stepfather, he was into this etching and this real fine stuff, and he was totally at peace with that. I mean, he went somewhere else. But for me, that's why I stepped away from sculpting for so long, is it's like, oh, it's so tedious. It's fun, but it's tedious.
We'll get back into it.
We'll get back to it.
From surfaces to mirrors to masks, industrial designers Shauna.
Because their showroom was not so interesting, it tells me that this is all mail order. Their shop is interesting. They probably have certain clients come in to pick and choose of colors that they've mastered. Yeah. But the front of the house was no big deal.
And Matt have transformed concrete, shedding its utility.
Yeah, there's chopped glass in there.
To create something playful and vibrant and alive.
There's a lot of people that were involved in making this video.
Yeah.
YouTube, oftentimes it's 2 people, and one of those people can do 8 things, Pasha. And you're my 8 things guy. And so, but what I really appreciate about this celebration of craftsmanship is they celebrated it with a good production quality, and it's not always possible. And the other is that they just have so many boxes of inspirational to me. They found a certain level of success at a young age. I don't think they're more than 40, right? If that. They look like they're in an environment that they're not like struggling with.
Yeah.
Nothing's out of control.
They seem happy, they seem...
Right, the roof wasn't leaking. Everything was committed. And in my mind, there's as much that goes into keeping the shop tidy as there is to actually making the pieces. But
they knew the cameras come and they're like, we gotta clean this shit up now.
Probably, some of
course.
that, but you can't rebuild your shop for the camera.
No, you cannot rebuild the
shop. It's
shop.
not worth it.
It
takes away the...
It's a shop. Still.
Yeah, so in one aspect, they're letting the cement be wild, but their shop is not.
Yeah.
And so I like that it's a successful expression and evolution of their career. Successful, it looks like they look happy working together. They probably delegate differently, who knows. And I think that they're also good communicators. A lot of times craftspeople can't communicate well. There's kind of if you go into the trades, there's a bit of a bro culture. And it's not exactly like they spend a lot of time talking, they spend more time making things. And so the verbal skills, I think, are very important in many aspects as well, but not when you're working alone. And this is nice that they don't have to. So I give like lots of high fives to this.
Yeah.
And the channel I highly recommend, what was it, CBC Artworks? We'll have to bring that up.
CBC Design, I think.
CBC, and you know,
Something.
I just like it when there's quality in art. So thank you for watching. Oh wait, Pash, did you have anything?
I absolutely love the way the video was made, from the cinematography perspective, from the music and audio design, sound design. I see Jeff and Colin. Jeff does cinematography, location sound, and colorist, so he colors the raw footage. And Colin is a producer and a cinematographer. Great work, absolutely. The fact that in the beginning the guy knocked on the ceramic, which was plaster, really, you know, and they mixed it to fit the music, and it goes throughout the entire video. In the beginning and at the end, they're finishing with the same sound of like doot 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 doot.
And when he did the mold like this, they put drums to it. Doom, doom,
Yeah. I mean, that sound design is just effects to, you know, like support what's happening on the screen, little whooshes and stuff. And
it's craftsman filming craftsman.
Dude, it was great. And the design of like little pictures flashing. I saw how they did them, and it made the video feel very flowy and easy to watch and engaging. So like I didn't want to like look away, if that makes sense. It's true. Retaining the audience.
I felt the same way. I actually wanted a little bit more in the sense of show me this portfolio, because they did some nice sort of slow pans of things that I thought that's not their best work.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Where's the and then the picture of their collection?
Well, you know, there might be some NDAs that they can't show certain projects.
Good point.
You know, so they probably showed what they could show.
Well, that's true, but there's a lot of promo shots that people have. So I was wondering why those didn't get woven in. Maybe they didn't have the choice.
Right.
They weren't given the opportunity.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, we're done filming and this will be cut by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time. Goodbye.
No, great video. Absolutely enjoyed it. Really well done. Very well made.
Something to aspire to.
Absolutely.
You ready for this? Can you be 3, 6, 9, 8, 10, 11?
Maybe all these people?
Can you be 13
technically,
people?
I mean, I'm already that, but not quite to the extent.
Okay, you'll be 13, I'll be 1.
Oh, Colin is director and editor also, and a producer, and a cinematographer. And this is not done. If you press play, there's going to be more.
What?
Oh, wow.
Writers?
Special things, writers. Yeah, they had to write it. They have to help. A lot of people overlap. A lot of people overlap positions.
What a great team. We'll have this type of team in California.
One day. No, this is great. Yeah. I aspire to do better and be as good as these guys are with their video work.
Magnolia Network, Pasha's coming to get you.
I am aspiring to be as good.
Okay, here we go. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for watching.
Bye.